Does the Bible condemn beer drinking? As a missionary, I have come across many questions pertaining to the drinking of wine, whether this is sin according to the Bible or not. I've heard people quote scriptures such as John 2 verse 4 Jesus made wine, and Proverbs 31 verse 6 strong drink should be given to the perishing, to show that the Bible actually condones the drinking of alcohol. An important consideration is to have in mind that scriptures are often quoted out of context, which leads to wrong conclusions. One such scripture that I'd like us to explore today is Proverbs 31 verse 6. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those who have an embittered soul. Firstly, let's look at who spoke these words and to who. Jewish literature reports that the words in Proverbs 31 verses 3 to 7 were that of King Solomon's mother, who was advising Solomon as he awakened from a drunken sleep with a heavy hangover. At the forceful urging of his Egyptian wife, the king had overindulged in strong wine, which caused him to oversleep and thus not open the gates of the temple the next morning. Wondering what was happening with their king, the people went to the queen mother and asked her to check on him. She found him sleeping, and after waking him up she spoke these words, Proverbs 31 verses 3 to 7. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. For it is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, 5 lest they drink, and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. 6 Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. 7 Let him drink, and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. The word poverty in Hebrew is maxa, which comes from the root word maxak, which may mean darkness, realm of the dead or dark place. From Solomon's mother's point of view, she meant, let beer be given to those whose sentence had been pronounced and are waiting to be executed, and they are in maxak, dark place or realm of the dead, as we shall see in the explanation. Unfortunately, this scripture is often quoted only in part, which takes it totally out of context. Most people are very familiar with the latter part, which appears to allow drinking, and totally ignorant of the first part, that actually prohibits it. Who were the perishing? This term refers to those who committed capital offenses, and were then convicted to capital punishment. This meant punishment by death, either hanging, stoning, choking or burning. They were bound to perish. As they were led to the place of execution, they would be given some wine to help them bear this ordeal. How was it done? According to the Mishnah, Jewish oral law, if the conviction on a case was death, the guilty one was taken out immediately to be stoned. Leviticus 24 verse 13 says, lead forth the blasphemer. This referred to those leading the prisoner to his place of execution. One stood at the gate of the court with a flag in his hand, and the other, who rode on a horse, stood far enough to see the signals from the flag. Occasionally, it would happen that a witness might appear to plead against the guilty verdict. At which point, the man raised up the flag, and the one on horseback rushed to stop the procession. The guilty person would be brought back to the court for further consideration. This could be allowed even if it happened several times, provided there was something in it worthy of consideration. If the court found him not guilty, he was acquitted. If not, he was taken back to be stoned. A herald went before him, heralding, so-and-so, the son of so-and-so, is taken to be stoned, because he committed such and such a crime, and A and B are his witnesses. Everyone who knows something in his defense may come and tell it before he is executed. Before the person was to be killed, they would put a grain of frankincense in a goblet of wine and give him to drink, and this type of concoction was the strongest alcohol in those times, as we hear here, the strong drink. This was to dull his senses to help him cope with the trauma. Proverbs 31 verse 6. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those who have an embittered soul. Strong drink not allowed. The scriptures strongly disallow the drinking of this type of beer, strong drink, for it takes one's mind away and throws him into indulgence, for it was very addictive. Hence he may forget the laws of God and end up in a spiritual exile. Isaiah 5 verses 11 to 13 says, Woe unto those that rise up early in the morning, that they may run after strong drink, but the deeds of the Lord they regard not, and the works of his hands they behold not. Therefore are my people led into exile, for want of knowledge. Remember, Noah lost his piety when he began to occupy himself with the growing of the vine. His first attempt to produce wine resulted in him drinking to excess. He also became the first to utter curses upon his associates, and the first to introduce slavery. Remember, two tribes that come out of Lot drunk encounters with his daughters, the Moabites and Ammonites, became Israel's stillborn enemies. In conclusion, the wine that is mentioned in the Bible, which used to be consumed mostly together with meals, were far from intoxicating but could lift the spirit of one who took it, like the one that Jesus made at the wedding of Cana, John 2 verses 1 to 11. The wine that Jesus made is mentioned in Greek as oinos, which simply means wine from grapes but not ferments one. In Hebrew it's called torosh, which means fresh wine from grapes, or simply grape juice, which was far from fermented wine. Generally, fermented wine progresses from mild impairment to potentially life-threatening levels, with stages like euphoria, excitement, and confusion. Maybe someone can use other authorities to justify alcohol consumption, but from biblical and health perspective, it's not okay. Glory be to God. If you find this video encouraging, please subscribe, like, share and hit the notification bell to receive more enlightening insights. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.